are down to our top 8 here at Kickoff, and with Masters Bangkok on the horizon, some very important elimination matches will be taking place here in the Riot Games Arena this week. Hello everybody and welcome back to VCT EMEA. We are coming to you live from Berlin, Germany. I'm your host Yingsu and I've got Billy here with me and Tom
Kuku's looking great.
yeah, looking a little bit less great this week, but Tom, welcome. How are you doing?
My hair especially. I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited. I think we got banger games. What more do I need?
I love how every time you come on the desk, you have to, at some point, make a joke about not having hair. I respect it.
Someone else will do it, so I might as well get there first.
Yeah, you gotta get in there first.
Then the bar is lowered already, so if they...
Yeah, I mean, the bar being lowered, Mitch is coming tomorrow, so I'm sure he'll lower the bar even more. But let's celebrate before we get into everything, because it is Chinese New Year today. So happy Chinese New Year. 新年快乐 to all of the people that celebrate around the world, of course. We got Heretics coming up later. They played against EDG. You know, I'm sure there's a bit of a link there. I feel like some EDG fans are now Heretics fans. And the event pass there, I love it. Billy, have you got it yet?
No, I do not have it yet. I've been too busy being here. But yeah, no, it's really cute. It's really cute.
I did as well.
I went out of my way because I was like, this edge is pretty cool. I'm gonna. Yeah. This is special. I need to have it.
Oh, I love that. You guys at home definitely should unlock that as well. But that is not the only thing we're going to be celebrating this week, because today, one of the winners, even both of the winners of our matches, Tom, will be earning points. Yay, for the first time ever.
Yeah, and as you, like in the rehearsal, I was joking around saying, oh, it's just a point. And then you went, well, how many teams sort of ended up getting screwed by not having one extra point? And so I've been converted. Very important. Get as many points as you can.
Yeah, I think that we kind of highlighted this throughout the week, saying that, like, you know, it's rewarding teams for being more consistent. And I think if you can get early points on the doors, then it's all the better for your team.
This is the thing. Last year, you had to win to get points. Coming second wasn't even good enough. And now third and fourth, they'll be getting a point as well. And as Tom mentioned, there were teams last year that really were 1 or maybe 2 maximum points away from making chance.
The other way. Getting enough early points got them into that playoff stage.
Yeah,
so
they did,
early points can save you later in the year.
So these points are going to be very, very, very important. And we will find out which team will be the first ones to do so. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the bracket and schedule where, Billy, I'm going to ask you the $1 million question. Did you expect this to be our top 8? Are there any upsets you feel like along the way?
I mean, would it be rude to say BBL have been kind of taking everyone by surprise? I don't know. I mean, I kind of had BBL going out pretty early, so I think that's the one that surprises me the most. I think Vitality KC is probably the game that we've had of Kickoff. It's been the best one to watch, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, a couple of upsets in there, but we can expect that at Kickoff.
Yeah, I think maybe a little bit sad for some of the teams we've lost so early on. I think KC's definitely up there with the best of them. Like, they didn't look bad at all. They didn't look like a team that deserves to be out. I think you could even argue the same for Na'Vi. I think their final match was incredibly close, kind of choked it. But ultimately, they're out of the tournament.
Yeah, no flaw. I miss her already.
True.
I miss her already, but maybe some flaw in the segment I'm about to show you guys. We're going to play a game. This is actually Kuku's game, so I've taken over so I can hopefully do her proud, where we're going to do Rate That Clutch. It's very, very simple. You guys at home play along as well. The watch party is, I know you're watching, also play along with us. I'm going to show you guys a few clutches, and I want you to rate them based off of the importance, how good that clutch is.
Okay.
And you only have 4 numbers, which is 10, 5, 3, and 7. Once you've used a number, you cannot use it again. So if you're doing a 10 early doors, that is the only 10 you can use, okay? You can't combine them. But let's just kick things off and show you the first clutch. Tom and Billy, rate that clutch. It is a Rian's here.
Is a 10.
Okay, versus Gentlemates, where they were getting banged. They were getting banged, and this gave them a 9-3. They ended up losing 13-4.
Oh, I can't go off 10 immediately, though. That clutch was sick.
It was a very
but they lost 13-4. This clutch.
You have to think of the context, yeah. I'm going to go mediocre.
On skill, it's 10, but in context, 5.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
5.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a 5.
I feel like
it meant nothing, but it looked cool.
It looked cool, yeah.
Billy had to rein you in.
He gets 10 out of
He had to
10
rein
for
you
the
in.
clutch and 0 out of 10 because it didn't mean anything.
I mean,
which is 5.
technically, maybe it did because 9-3 is always better than 10-2. They could have lost 13-2.
Well, yeah, no, it's better if you come back, but they didn't.
Yes, but they have never... I think the hardest they've ever lost is 13-3. So that actually saved them a little bit, I feel like,
well
from the
done,
13-2. Okay, let's show the next one. Rate that clutch.
I don't know if there's going to be one worse than that. That might have been a bad call.
Well, this is
what I think it is.
sociable.
Okay,
well,
yeah,
this is just don't even run the clutch. I was
It's
there.
a 10. It's a 10.
I
Yeah.
didn't believe in him in the moment.
You're too tall.
Yeah, this is a...
So this is a 10, yeah? This is a 10.
Yeah, without a doubt. This
So
is
there's
don't even need
no
to watch it.
other clutch in any other context that you can think of that might be better than a 10.
not a chance.
No.
Sociable on chamber, give me more. Give me more. I love it.
So
This
again,
is my... you have to bear in mind, too, I was casting this, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
I'm hella biased.
again, the context, they were knife 5 up. They ended up.
care. It was sick.
We need to move on real quick, but can we just show the third one like super fast, like instant, 1 second, because I want to make them eat their words. They gave a 10 to that sociable one, and I had one in the pocket that I feel like you might regret your choice if you see this.
I don't.
I am
7.
begging for more time. So Kayak versus Navi, round 28.
Okay, 7 out of 10.
yeah, this is a 7.
Oh, you guys are trolling.
7. No.
That's sociable. It was with a Marshall no-scope
Bruh.
and people.
Yeah, yeah.
And also,
Sociables is cool,
Navi trolled that round. Like, they didn't peek together. In context, it's a cool clutch. It's a 10 for context. The actual clutch was like a 3, so it's a 7.
Yeah, I'm
'Cause
very
Navi
happy
trolled.
with 7.
Sorry,
I'm
Navi.
happy with 7. It was poetic for Kayak to
My
finish
girlfriend's
it.
the manager of Navi. I'm going to get in trouble.
Whoa! Tom Biz is biased. Tom Biz is
I rated
biased.
it lower.
Tom is biased.
because
Tom
they
is
trolled.
biased. And speaking of biases, I know Tom is also really biased against Team Heretics, for Team Heretics as well.
Against?
As the 4th member of the Boo family, of the Boo brothers, we know there's Heizen Boo, Boo, Mini
What about
Boo.
Boo the Builder?
And I know we got Bold Boo here standing
Bold Boo,
next to me
yes, love them.
as well. Now, since you're such like a connoisseur of the boos, I want to ask you whether you think it was a good idea to role swap a Boo and Vut, because we heard it from Neozinho himself. There was a reason behind this, and the reason is because here it is. The reason is because any maps that kind of requires Vut to learn lineups, he's not a really big fan of, so he doesn't want to do that, and Boo defaults to that. But do you think it's a good choice?
I like Boo more on controller. Like, I think that he's so good at sort of playing from the back lines and setting them up that you can kind of do that with a KO, and that's what we've seen. That's what the role swap has been. We even saw it at Champs. I just think that KO allows for a little bit more aggression. I don't really want Boo in massively aggressive positions. I do want Woo in massively aggressive positions, so I don't like it. But they probably know a little bit better than me.
I think from my perspective is why are we so hard on having to have a KO in the composition when we're in such a diverse meta at the moment? You know, we're seeing so many new agents being picked up. I feel like there's so many compositions that are actually feasible and have been shown to work. So why are we so hard focused on he needs to play KO? Patek's not here anymore.
Play Teo so that you don't need lineups.
That's made me sad now.
Boom.
You just pat his
But like, we can't rely on that. You know, like Patek, known for being a great KO, but like, I didn't mean out of the competition. I meant Team Heretics, but yeah.
I do also prefer Boo on the controller. I think that in itself kind of hits a nail on the head. But I do also love the way that Mini Boo got everybody so rolled up, and Billy kind of like exposed the fake Heretics fan. They were giving it to him on map 1 when he was playing, but then map 2 and 3 he showed him.
Yeah, I mean, Mini Boo, that first map was pretty rough to watch from, but again, like, it was pretty clear that Abyss, it was a little unprepared, I guess. Neozinho had openly said that, but the performance switch from map 2 and 3 was just absolutely incredible. I think he was 6 first kills, 0 first deaths overall, so yeah, I was really impressed for him to actually start warming up into the series.
For me, it was the mental side, because you go back to a year ago, and if Mini Boo had a map like that, he probably has a bad day.
Yeah.
But you see the difference. I think even there's a clip of him going like, I've got more kills than last map in like round 2 of the next game, because it didn't get to him. Even though they had a bad map, it didn't go well. He is still mentally incredibly strong, and I think it shows the advancement of 2024.
Do you think that that mental strength can go up against a team that managed to come back 3-9 against Fnatic?
Of course, they've been to Champions final. I think that if you can get there after you were replaced in a previous event by Woot and everyone was going, just get rid of him, play Woot on duelist, all this stuff, and then he comes back and gets to a Champs final. Yeah, the mental of going up against BBL, I think it'll be okay. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think they'd be fine. Like you say, they've faced so much resilience last year that, yeah, they'll be all good.
I mean, we do have to talk about this comeback, though, because we've never seen it, Billy. It is the first time we saw Fnatic be on the receiving end of this, but I do think that speaks volumes for how far BBL have come as well, because this was not easy.
Yeah, I think as well we have to look at BBL's composition that they're running on split. Yes, they didn't do as well on that defensive side, but as soon as it switched to attack, you really seen that double duelist, that double controller composition come into play. They could be really direct with their approach. They could just go in, hit sites, be as aggressive if they want, and they were just being able to recognize so many gaps in Fnatic's defense as well.
Yeah, I was really impressed with both Yumpy's IGLing in that second half. I think it was fantastic, but also the fact that the coaching staff weren't showing like mass frustration or like going into the next half. They were literally trying to build up the team, and I think that was so important for them in their return.
And of course, Perfect, what a tournament he's having as well. Oh my goodness. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see what more he can do. But here's the thing for BBL, this is the furthest they have never been. So let's see why they managed to make it this far and hear from the coaches. I believe Billy has a Mark new pal.
Hello everyone, I'm Billy and I'm joined by the lovely coaches from BBL. How are you guys today?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
No worries. So obviously we heard from Vac the other day that he quit his in real life job to come and stand in for the squad. But I just wanted to ask you a little bit more about Chiwa, helping integrate him into the team. Do we have any further updates or plans for Chiwa arriving for Kickoff? I'm going to ask that to you, Martin.
Actually, we talked with this situation for yesterday. It's not we are not getting still good news right now. But if we get, for example, tomorrow, it doesn't matter for us. Probably we will keep WAC till the end kickoff. Then before stage 1, we're gonna prepare start again with Chiwa, I guess.
Okay, no worries. So that's an update for everyone at home that Chiwa will in fact be staying at home at the moment. But I wanted to throw up a little throwback for you two, because obviously you spent some time together on Fireflux previously. Pal is a strategic coach and Mark New yourself as team manager. But how has your relationship grown since then, and how do you guys work together now?
A lot. I was very I probably only got that job because of Mark New in the first place, and probably again this job only because of him. So I'm very grateful to him for giving me both the opportunity at the time and this opportunity again.
Yeah. And on Fireflux, actually, I decided to step back before that season. So I chose to go to team manager. Then the Mavera was our head coach that times right now. But actually, I was involving the team always. So that days were good days, right? So before the roster lock, 2 days ago or something like that, we sold our 2 best players to different Turkish teams. Then we bring Yetujay and Wood from academy team to main team. So we had a good NIGL. And also we have an experienced smoke player and also another rookie for us, Vallas. So our team chemistry was very good that day. So yeah,
fond memories to look back on then. Yeah. And how would you say you work together now then? What goes on between you two? Because of course we see you calling the timeouts most of the time, Pal, and being the one that's vocal in those.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a really good working system. It took a bit of time during the off-season to get that going. I'm hoping I'm offering something useful. But now it's just a lot of the time that, like Sally and especially our analyst Scott as well, they have to be given a lot of the credit for how brilliant some of these individual players are. Myself and Scott then work a lot more on the team strategy, our maps, etc., and sort of bringing everything else together. But there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of conversations, especially around team culture and planning things out that we do together. And then we just pick our specialities and go from there.
Okay, nice, lovely. And obviously this is a very different BBL roster from what we've seen before, both being no longer majority Turkish and of course the run that you have had so far. But I mean, performance-wise too, what would you say has been the sort of fundamental change for BBL so far this year?
I think looking from the outside in, I think it's a lot of people with a lot of passion, some brilliant impact in terms of leadership and calling from Yampy in and out of the server as well. What was the biggest change for you since last year?
Yeah, actually, we are working with Elias Yampy. So this is one of the best IGS and one of the best captains, I think, all around the world. So he's doing his job in a very good way. Also, we are also helping to him. So yeah, actually, this is the biggest change, I guess. We have Yampy. They
Well,
don't.
hopefully Yampi is able to come out on top today, and best of luck in your game against Team Heretics.
Thank you very much.
With me.
BBL have overcome every single challenge that's been thrown at them so far. But Heretics is going to be a different beast. They made no roster changes. They managed to win last week despite a bad start, Billy. But the map pool is going to be interesting because I feel like BBL are just have a pretty deep map pool right now.
Yeah, definitely. They've shown their hands at pretty much all of them other than Bind. And I think for me, coming into this one, Team Heretics choosing to insta-ban split, I wasn't sure if they were going to do that or the Abyss. We are actually going to see Abyss floated as a decider. So I'm expecting that they've done some heavy prep going into this week.
I am really surprised because banning that split kind of feels like doing BBL a favor almost. I know they made that comeback, but it also felt like that comeback is kind of like a once-a-generational sort of occurrence. But BBL, they don't have to play the Fracture. The split is gone as well. They get Pearl to start with.
Yeah.
Dare I say it? I smell a bit of an upset here.
Oh, do
I think they can do this.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, yeah, I'm not totally against that. I think we've seen Team Heretics ban split in their previous map veto, so that wasn't a surprise. But for me, the big surprise is Abyss not being picked into by BBL, right? They think, okay, Pearl has been our strongest map so far, and they just leave Abyss to float. Like, they just... Team Heretics not even banning it the second time. I mean, yeah, I would presume they've done some prep on it, but for me as well, Lotus, like, this is the first time we're going to see Team Heretics on Lotus since that finals at Champs against EDG. So I'm interested to see what they've cooked up in that time.
I think we're not going to see the same kind of Lotus we saw against. I mean, I hope we don't. It wasn't the greatest Lotus out of them. But let's talk about this Pearl because I did a little bit of digging. I just wanted to see if other people have adapted to this Pearl composition that they play. Some teams in EMEA, in Tier 2, in GC, they've yoinked this. They look good on it as well. I am surprised that other people haven't yoinked this BBL comp because it is so bloody annoying, Billy, to play against.
Yeah, no, it really is. I think as well, we kind of mentioned it in that clutch game that Sociable, when he's been on that chamber, he just comes to life. He was really, really impressive for me. I think as well, Chiwa openly saying in that interview, you know, he didn't even have Vise unlocked, and then we've seen him jump onto the Vise on Pearl, and it was absolutely fantastic to see him play that so well. So yeah, no, I think the Pearl composition that BBL have been running has been absolutely top-notch so far.
I don't expect any changes as we head into Agent Select from BBL, but let's see what we're going to get from Heretics. Of course, they're going to reprice that Rian's on Tejo, the swap that we talked about between Vu and Vut. They're going to double down on it.
Yeah, I know, and I mean, it's something that I'm still not yet sure of, to be completely honest. I mean, as far as players going, yes, Vut maybe being a little bit more comfortable on that Astra and not wanting to play the KO, but I just really hope that this doesn't go against them, because what we've seen from them previously, it just did not look the best.
It didn't, but this is Team Heretics we're talking about. They tend to do a lot better when they have tape on the other team. We have a lot of trust in Neon Weber to be able to counter this. But at the same time, Billy, this is the map the BBL have to win, because Lotus we don't really know. But this one, they should be able to come out with a very nice 1-0.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. And I mean, the last time they played it, it was a 13-5 win up against GX. So it's more than likely that going into this one, they probably believe that Pearl is their strongest map in the pool at the moment.
They do, yeah. And of course, they have the Vice here. They don't have to worry about Tejo destroying the ultimate this time. But I want to give a shout out to Tom for doing his best Omen cosplay and TPing all the way to the caster booth to join Mitchman.
Thank you, Yinsu. From the shadows, he's emerged. Thanks very much for coming up here, Tom. It's always good to see you.
I almost left you solo casting. I really thought about it for a second, but you know,
I would have.
I didn't want to do that to the viewers. That was the main reason I didn't.
All right, very respectable, Tom. Well, we're going to be getting into the game between Heretics and BBL. And we've heard from the desk, there's no doubt at home. Probably BBL are coming into this map thinking this is their strongest position to play from. I'm excited to see what they're going to be capable of doing. And here's an overview of the map that we're looking at. It's going to be an attacking start again for BBL. Same thing as we saw last time up against GX, where they won 7 out of the first 8 rounds.
Yeah, I think one of the more interesting things for me here is how we're going to see that control sort of taken around A side. I think Teo especially has been very good for that. And then on the other side, just what is going to be coming out from Sociable. I know that was a highlight for both of us, was his sort of like lurks through mid. I know you mentioned in the pistol they like to sort of make their way through the door. I think it's going to be a fun one to see what goes on in this opening, as we will now kick off right into map number 1.
Well, this is it. Last time around, we saw BBL look for control over Art and A main, then playing late into that with a double doors play by Sociable, who had, as he does now, many headhunter shots purchased up. Now, one of the things that we've seen as an adjustment is BBL now pumped the brakes. Nothing like their previous pistol. In fact, there is still presence on A main, still presence on Art, but they're hoping that Heretics make the adaptation of pushing B long, of taking the space that they left wide open in their previous game. That doesn't happen here. And BBL, late looking towards the B side, but these players on the other side of the map, they've got to still try to find something. Sociable loses his life in that attempt.
Yeah, now this attack is incredibly split. 2 players one side, 2 players the other. A constant proactive push from Heretics to rotate around the map, maybe having expectations that B would now be the target. And what Boo, the main thing will be when that knife comes back online. If it's within the next few seconds, he might be able to catch 2 players as they look to go in towards this A side.
They played their standard pistol, or it looked like it to A, then back to B, now back to A. The reward is huge. Boo, knife not going to land for info either. He was worried about the space given up on Art, but he should have been worried about main. Now realizing that, but already sites being taken. Plant will be coming in shortly.
Just to deny the default position. In fact, more utility being expended. Maybe an adaptation from BBL trying to place themselves differently. Rienzo still connecting the shot. In fact, every shot for a moment up until Vac finds a couple. This does leave Profek in a clutch, but in a 1 versus 3, no chance.
Yeah, it's just one of those rounds. BBL throw out a double fake, try to play the control of the map is a big issue, and then where previously Post Plant was super passive on A, they get aggressive, fight up into their faces. You know, again, the idea being that Heretics should be expecting Post Plant utility, these players to fall back, the wall from Vice there again, same thing we saw before. They might not have been ready for it, who knows, but they certainly reacted well. That's a round on the board for the defensive side, a 1-0 start. BBL left with pistols. Now for Heretics, like, this is a squad that we expect nothing but the best from, Tom. BBL have been upsetting teams as we've gone through. Taking down Fnatic, I think, was a pretty impressive victory. You really expect them to have a chance, though, up against a squad like Heretics?
I definitely think they have a chance. I not necessarily even because, like, talking of the Heretics, I think a lot of people have looked at last year and gone, oh, is this team going to be as good? But more so because BBL are unorthodox. And I think that's difficult for teams to play with. Similarly, when you look back at Fnatic, you even go into a map like Abyss, a lot of it was Levin, not the Lunatic.
Not Loon.
The Levenatic was really pushing down mid and being super aggressive, and it's tough to sort of come up with your own strategies when someone is being a maniac. So I think their style is tough to play against. They've got a very good mentality. That's where I think the opportunities lie. The thing is, though, if Heretics play to their peak, that may not matter. This team is a Champions finalist.
Yeah, well, I mean, even for some of the best teams in the world try to test it, it doesn't matter if Heretics turn up. Firing on all cylinders. That's a little awkward for Mini Boo. Luckily, he's out of there. It's only Classics that they're up against, and you can see how quickly they can dispatch these opponents, even when shots are missed. It's so difficult to land enough shots on BBL's side that it matters, I suppose. Plenty of headhunters here for Sociable, and a chance to at least make this costly for his opponents. Nothing will be found. An in-zone flawless for Team Heretics, certainly hitting their stride early on here on Pearl.
Yeah, I kind of want to see how they play this next round, though, because you're looking at a lot of teams nowadays will go for a few rifles, pistols, and then you reload. So you have rifles across the board. They have not done that. They have got SMGs, they had a Marshall in the mix, so it means that this buy is going to have some pieces missing, but that also means that there's potential for them to do something incredibly aggressive. And that was where I kind of expect something to come through for them here. Ultimate's not particularly close either, so it is just going to have to come down to a decent plan. And this was that aggression I'm talking about. having that early use of the guided salvo, it gets you the orb, but it also denies A control for your opponent.
Yeah, we saw that attempt. No doubt we'll see it later with Boo popping a deep flash over if Team Heretics really want to commit to that control. For now, though, it is just denied, and it has worked. BBL starved for map control. Sociable's here on B long. Rest of the squad making their way down A. Sociable to either cause a distraction or find the pick instead. His head is ripped clean off. He even had extra armor in the form of part of the map, but not even the wall could save him. That's a man advantage for his squad that's now stacked up on A. At least 2 players close with Boo. Full utility. This could be dangerous.
They also still have potential to just look to deny the plant. A lot of that has been the goal. 11 already taking. A lot of extra space, and Vac holds the line to stop any shenanigans. The problem is every tag makes things more and more dangerous. In fact, Mini were looking to just do an incredible amount. The fact, though, is those trades have gone the way, at least for now, of the attack.
Players remaining at rifles, though. This round is far from won. Now a little bit closer, though. Boo is strangled for control. Nothing to do. Blocked off by a smoke even in the end, but it was more or less just his casket. 2-1. A round that BBL should win. They end up suffering a couple of losses, but it could have been a whole lot worse.
Yeah, all in all, that's fine. I think especially with how things started, I like the fact that you can see those sort of crossfires while the Heretics are trying to be a little bit aggressive themselves. And again, just seeing this more proactive approach when it comes to those afterplants, not allowing for the retake to come in. Because again, there's so much utility available to this defensive side off the back of the Astra, off the back of Boo as well, and of course, the new man Teo. For now, though, that's another orb this game. They're literally using that guided salvo just to farm the orbs, and because of that, they've got Armageddon online already at the beginning of round 4.
I mean, that is massive in a round where BBL pull in these rifles, have a couple pieces of reinvestment as well. This could definitely dictate the flow of the early half. Now for Team Heretics, not much to do, but sit back and wait. We'll see a similar hold to the previous round, just swapping in or out 1 or 2 players, but a 2-1-2. Killjoy utility defending the doors, and then very important to still have that little piece of information. What they have missed out on is art. That's being cleared right now by a drone. That can be said for both teams. And the stalemate of information and of map control has to come to an end soon, because BBL have 50 seconds on the clock. No control of that B push-up either. It's time to go.
Catch anyone. Yeah, Boo's just thrown his knife in. This is the second time that BBL have been able to avoid it, so they can't really gamble any of those rotations just yet. But it does seem like the defense, for a moment, had an idea, but they're actually starting to go back in the other direction. This walk up fairly late, though. 30 seconds left on the clock, and we know that there's plenty to delay the plant.
You're thinking about that Armageddon, it's close and online. I think Rian's might be setting it up as we speak. First tap goes in. Flash. As Team Heretics are attempting to retake control. In fact, I didn't think Woot had an angle, but just a small gap around that smoke. In comes the ultimate, but it will be dodged. Yumpy stepping into the smoke and making it back to site safely. At least keeping some control on the site itself, but his teammates are smoked out, and now they're about to overwhelm him. Luckily, no flashes online for the side of Team Heretics. Boo's already burned his, so Yumpy's gonna have to stand his ground, at least have a chance in an even fight. As he falls, time starts to tick away. Star already there. That's gonna buy a little bit more time. Stop the defuse a second longer. It's a little whiffy from back though, down to just 2. In fact, 1! Defending the spike, and it's Prophet holding his ground against the odds. It looks like he's got it. Unbelievable Prophet. That's BBL equalized.
Whatever his salary is, double it. Just double it right now.
4K from Profec. I don't think I've seen that
no
one
way. No way. Another 4K to add to the already growing collection in the Red Bull clutch. And the sort of the upsetting thing, if you're a Heretics fan, is they played this round fantastically. Like, they had so much utility. It was the salvo that then went into the ult, that went into a fragment, so much delay, forcing players into awkward positions. And then they went, oh, what's the one thing we've forgotten about? Profec. That guy in clutch situations is just so absurdly good. Right now, at least in Kickoff, he is the signing of the summer.
It's insane that Woot put up a 4K there. He must have felt like that round is locked in. It's done. It's over. And then Profec, blink of an eye, matched his performance.
Yeah, except he was alone. Like, Woot had a couple of buddies, like, throwing utility, running behind him. Profec's like, I stand on my own.
A magazine and a dream. Oh, Sociable showing up now. Yumpy onto Rienz. I mean, a weaker weapons in play, but Yumpy, he was in the same boat. This is a whitewash. Woot, the last left, 1v4. Ult's online for BBL. Hey, maybe he makes them use one. That's about the best case scenario.
He makes them use one for here. They've done something wrong. Because it is a 1 versus 5. What are they going to do? Take his gun away? He doesn't have one to begin with, so not going to be a whole lot of value in that. But no, it's such a huge round for Propek. This one can almost still be divvied up to his performance. It ruined the economy of Heretics. Their start on the A site hold was fantastic, but one man stood between them and victory. Yumpy now is basically just getting those kills to confirm the in-zone flawless. Would only really have benefited Social Buzz. As you said, like that's the other thing to bring into consideration is we did see the ultimate thrown in a couple of rounds ago. The ult that was being farmed for Rienz was thrown in a round that they didn't win. And thus far, BBL have used 0 ults. And sort of the win condition of their last time playing this map has 2 kills. He's not the win condition right now.
It is a scary time. Because in that round, we see Sociable step up, find that opening, convert, but like I say, this is what we're sort of expecting from him in most rounds. 25 and 12 up against GX. If he's had a slow start, you expect him to heat up. And Heretics will need to do a lot better than what we're seeing so far. They won the first 2 rounds, and then it's been nothing but the BBL show since then. A squad looking to establish their empire and doing damn well so far. As we said, they've already taken out someone like Fnatic. Normally, at this stage, with a team of the caliber and success last year of Heretics, we wouldn't expect a squad like BBL to have a chance, but
it's earning
different times.
They'll be earning champions points while playing with a stand-in. Like that, you can't really ask for anything more than that. That's all they have to do. They win this game, they've earned champions points, and I think they're, what, a match away from a Masters.
And yeah, they're 2 matches away right now. 2 steps, and they'll be all the way there. And the thing is, Vac as well. Now, listen, I'm glad he's doing well, so I can roast him a little. Phenomenal player, not playing the role that we know him for, and has not been doing well. Statistically, one of the worst players in the tournament right now. That's the sub you're bringing in. We talk about super subs. There's other ways to do it. You don't have to drop 40 kills to be a super sub. Playing with the team, your team's winning, you're already doing your job. But it's funny as well, the BBL, I mean, it's just been an uphill battle every step of the way for this squad starting Kickoff, yet
The sting.
they've delivered. He has kept a moneymaker, I suppose.
Sure.
I mean, realistically, you're going to be, you see a lot of the time you're using your drone passive, you're obviously going to be setting your teammates up. You've got...
What did he do in the last buy round? He
Yeah.
ran into the site and planted. It's like, that's absolutely
I'm guessing now he's not going to do that, though.
I'm guessing that's not true. Instantly, we're going to see him pop that Hunter's Fury. That's the opener for Yumpy, granted from afar. And then also just look at the amount of space that's been taken by Levin. Already going all the way back in towards their spawn area.
Here.
Nowhere is safe right now for Heretics on this retake.
I'm curious to see where Yumpy ends up going after the plant. He's going to have some limited choices.
He's going to wall.
Choose from.
That's where he's going.
Oh, he's sticking around. He's staying up close.
Oh, he's going forward, you mean?
Yeah. He was sticking around. Now he stepped into the fray. Great shot by Levin. And now look who's waiting inside the smoke. It's Yumpy. Oh, BBL delivering again. Every game from this squad is a treat. And we know Pearl is somewhere that they're going to do damage to the best of the best. And you're seeing it here. A 4-2 start for the attacking side after losing the pistol. Heretics have got to be feeling the heat right now.
That's also just the way that they manage their ultimates. We talked about them building up. It's an immediate usage just to get that opener. They went, okay, the likelihood is the B site leaves the player a little bit more isolated. Let's use that classic combo of the Hunter's Fury in tandem with the Dimensional Drift. It gives an immediate opener. And then most players, I would say within their right mind, will go, we have an opener, we have a plant. I don't need to be up in their face aggressive. And Levin goes, why would I do that? I can kill people. And we've spoken to Pal before this, and he goes, no, that's what we want him doing. We want him being this disruptive force that's going to make things difficult. Because again, Heretics are very good in retakes. Not if you don't allow them to retake.
Well, this is it. Oh, okay. We're seeing a little bit of an adaptation. B-long push, utility used, guided salvo to clear out the deeper space.
Time to jump.
Nothing found. No one here. BBL are in fact grouped up on the other side of the map looking for an A site hit straight in. Damage done. Woot is out of there. He's got 6 HP left. Bit of Vi's utility might have taken him down. The plant is secured. 11, not deterred by his own teammate's utility. Steps in, takes a bit of damage. He's not gone fully around that corner just yet. He was waiting for the wrap around the other side. TP's out. It's a free pick, and he's right back into the fight with a flash. They know that for now. Oh my god, look at the art play. A flank on a flank. Profec's timing is absolutely perfect. It means the players in main just need to buy time. It's all they need to do. The wall goes up from Vice in towards the defuse. They need to swing. There has to be the big swing to deny. There it is on Yumpy, sociable as well. And now time is there for Profec's flank to close out the round. They've done it, even with the kills going that way for Woot. As close as he is to the 4K. A big individual performance from him isn't enough to win the round, and it's not the first time we've seen it.
Yeah, even though they lost it, I'll give credit to Benji where it's due. He put an alarm bot down there even after he'd walked through it because he knew that he was going to get flanked again. Like, he had it in the back of his mind from the previous round that there's a decent chance that Profec's going to go. So they knew it was there, but it was so late it didn't matter. Yeah. Like, you then have to be in an advantage, have weaponry, just not working out. And BBL in those late rounds are looking fantastic thus far. Always got to be worrying about Profec, and that's the thing. The second you do, he's probably going to be with the rest of the team.
You want to play? Let's play.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, at this point as well, especially, Profec has to get a read. I've had several high-impact flanks that they definitely know about. It's something that they're going to be ready for. On the side of BBL, 5-2. It certainly ain't broke right now. Yet, the changes will still be there, waiting for Heretics to get aggressive. They walked up B long. We've seen a main aggression. Sort of half a main aggression, never fully around the deeper corner, but nothing's working so far.
Well, yeah, they've moved the vast majority of the setup. A lot of what they were doing initially was setting up util on B. Now they've left Boo alone on the B side because it has been quite an A-centric look from this attacking side thus far. But with Miniboo already set up deep on A, the Heretics can sort of gamble a little bit. It's just the pacing of BBL that makes it tough. They've given nothing away so far. Finally, that alarm bot is going to make a connection, and now utility starts to drop to try and help out Miniboo. But he's got to be careful of his backline.
Yeah, that space is just going to be conceded. They need a safe ground to stand and fight from. Woot through the smoke, goes down after one, and Miniboo gets nothing. Heretics are locked out. 3 players in the spawn, full control for BBL. A plant soon to come in. You'd imagine with 18 seconds left, maybe not. They're just going to take everybody down. Benji, 70 health, and it's the jump from Yumpy. Shorty in hand. That puts them up to 6. BBL showing no signs of slowing down. And the question is, how long can this go on for before Heretics won't be able to catch up?
Yeah, it is already pretty scary. Other than the pistol in the second round, nothing has gone their way. I'm loving sort of like the spacing and synergy between these players. Like, it just seems like a team that's had a lot longer than what we're currently witnessing from BBL.
Yes, let's go!
And well, right now, there hasn't been much of a response. A rough start for Boo. We mentioned that switch up to Initiator not really hitting the same as some of the vibes you got from his controller play. Already back. Spotted the push. It'll let them know that there's at least a little bit more of a gap on this B side, but the longer this attack side takes, the more bolstered the defense on B will be.
Depending on what Vax sees, they have the choice to go back, but we see a lot of players pushed up to that corner inside the smoke. There was even maybe a flash from Levin about to fly through. It didn't come. Stealth drone is sent out instead to try to check if they're still here, and it sees them. Well, it saw one at least, but look at the mass exodus from this B site. Now, he said it's all about what Vac can find on this side of the map. If he gets space or a pick, they go back, and he thinks he has space. Little does he know, Wu is still tucked in on the back of the site. There he is. Head ripped off. Site is theirs. Job done for Vac. Phenomenal round already. And now, well, they get the chance as long as Vac doesn't go down for a free plant. Well, Vac has better ideas. He drops Miniboo too. And with that, you got Pistols attempting a retake with no control. And guess who's behind them?
He didn't even get one.
Yeah, no reward this time, but it's the dramatic flair. That's what it's all about.
Can Boo make the board is the question. There we go, first kill. At least going to make things a tad more costly, but you look at the credits over on the BBL side. Oh, well, it's been booming lately. The thing is, he may even just opt to try and go down to the spike. Obviously, getting an extra kill would be nice. Get that ultimate online, but Sociable's not going to allow it. That is now a 7-2 lead, a 7-round streak for BBL as they are running away with their map choice. Not overly surprised to see them pick this one with how things went. Even though it looked like a decent map for their opponents up against Gentlemates, it doesn't seem to matter with just the confidence and style they play with. And while Heretics, correct me if I'm wrong, that's both pauses got in the first half.
I believe that is so, Tom. You can see the stress and strain this squad is under. A 2-0 start, a 7-2 scoreline, and an uphill battle to get back into things. Now, from the side of BBL, just further confirmation that what they're working on is they've cracked the formula. They've got the secret sauce. They're not looking to share it with anyone. This squad, Pal, looking more calm, I'd say, than normal when we go to those little cams. And I think that's because this squad is very comfortable with Pearl. Sure, we saw Heretics there, but we were impressed, blown away by what BBL brought to the table, and it doesn't seem to be changing. And again, Tom, I just want to say, the fact that Sociable is on the bottom of the scoreboard. Last time, BBL were impressive. The dude was 25-12. If you're not impressive with someone dropping 25-12, you're doing something wrong.
I think the most fun thing for me is the fact that the top player in the server is almost like the guy trying to make Papa proud. Like, Mark New is the guy who gave Woot the opportunity in that Fireflux young team.
Yeah.
He's currently top of the board. He's looking great. And then it's just like, but I'm still losing. Dad's team is still beating me. It's like, is the student the master? That's the question in this series. Has Woot outdone Mark New, or is Mark New still got a few more tricks to teach?
That question might have to be asked on the second and third map, more so than here, if things keep going this way especially. Heretics have come in with 4 ultimates under their belt. A good opportunity for them to bounce back. Again, though, on this defense, we've seen some aggression, but no real success from it right there. Feels like we're real close to finally seeing at least that aggression hit a wall. Whether it breaks through it or not, well, that remains to be seen. Profek going to eventually step into his sights, but the fight has not occurred. Timing must have been just perfect. BBL setting their sights on the A side, but look how many Heretics players are here, Tom.
Still, they're making a lot of noise around that mid position. They're trying to bait players into that rotation back. Levin also selling the idea that they're moving this way. That's a big kill, though. Already getting rid of Sociable. The same tech is being utilized again. I think Levin got a little bit lost with his own tech. Didn't know that he was stood right next to an opponent. Now, without that opener, without that success they had last time, they have got to try and get past 3, make that 4 within this A site.
Yeah, EBS is going to need to give me a replay of that Yoru ult. That was a blunder and a half.
It's done.
Killjoy ult comes into play. 17 seconds on the clock. Well, are you going to stick that plan? Oh, apparently you're going to try. You're going to try your damnedest. That is a tight margin. I don't know if you've got that just about. One player detained, though. And he ain't going to be doing anything with Profek. 4 opponents, and he swings out from Art. You know what? They're not falling for that one again.
Oh, the ult combinations there were absolutely nasty. I think we saw it right near the end that Armageddon was also put in backwards so that anybody going, I'm going to leave the ult, into another ult. Like, there was no escape. That was perfect from Heretics in terms of making sure there was no escape. It did cost them a lot of ultimates, but at this stage of the game, you have lost 7 rounds in a row. Do it. Get yourself on the board, break the momentum. And also you have to bear in mind that you used a lot of ults, but so did the other team. So you kind of wiped the board clean other than that singular ult on the other side. Which, to be honest, Steel Garden's pretty good, but I don't know if it will change everything.
Well, that's it. Trading out the ult economy and getting a round win, something that you haven't tasted since round 2. Sure, that's a great success for your squad. The question that obviously comes to mind, though, is what do you do in this round? When we're back to normal gameplay, we're back to rifle on rifle, not Armageddon falling from the skies or coming from the ground. It's unclear how that happens, the logistics. But I think at this point, you know, again, favor falls into BBL's lap. And for Heretics, a 7-5 scoreline, great. We can forget the trouble they've had here. but it's how likely we are to get there. For BBL, again, A presence is made. Again, heavy rotations coming in from the other side. There are 3 players in ART, 1 on the A site, but this time, BBL seem to have their sights set elsewhere. That does mean getting past Miniboo. Luckily, the drone has spotted the danger.
He's completely isolated. I don't know if there's any way out of here. The steel gun has been used, but it doesn't connect onto him. So he's able to hold this ground. This kill could change everything. And while for BBL, I think it has. That gives them the control they needed. It puts them into a 4v4 after plant. What could have been a really dangerous position ends up just being a single kill.
30 seconds left.
Now Heretics are the ones left to pick up the pieces. 4v4, B-long control stolen out of their hands. Operator recovered by Yumpy as well.
The attack are going to play deep as well because of the fact they have Cosmic Divide.
It's being put into play. 11 in a bit of danger. I don't think he's got a gate crash to fall back to, and he won't be able to either. Guided Salvo claims Profek back on backside. He's flown under the radar. They haven't detected him just yet. That gets a double on the board. It makes it possible for Yumpy. He can see when it's being diffused, and the shock darts primed and ready. The first lands, big damage. The second on its way, but it's already halved. And he needs to land this shot. They lined up, but the shot did not connect. And it's Rien's to return the favor. 4-7. It's far from over for Team Heretics.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I like that round from both sides. Miniboo does incredibly well, even just to trade effectively. There's a world where he sort of doubts himself, a little bit of luck in the spams. I really like BBL's adaptation in the middle. As I said, they spot the Cosmic Divide on the other side and go, okay, that's the one ult that can own us. Let's play more aggressive. The problem is when you're up against Teo and he's going to force you into more unfavorable battles, that's always going to be a little bit more difficult. Even still, though, Heretics, they pull off the retake once again. And as you said, 7-5. Maybe you get a second pistol, you're in the game.
Absolutely. Can still slip away, but even 8-4, not quite the advantage it looked like it would be a couple of rounds ago. For BBL, though, the heads will still be held high. 120 on the clock. And Heretics not quite gone for that B-long aggression. In fact, they're not even looking at B-long. It's a very passive position from Boo, and if he does pop his head out, he might regret it. Luckily, it's not going to be Heretics losing a player. Instead, it's Sociable falling in mid. The trap now gone for this attacking side, and all control outside of B-long is in the hands of Heretics. For BBL, I don't think there's even much of a choice to go back anymore, and I think that's signified by the wall they've just put into play.
Yeah, this is a tough one, though. Walking into the Killjoy setup.
This is bold.
Yeah, they're just waiting in case there's an over-rotation. Like, with this late amount of time on the clock, but it is a mass
30
gamble.
seconds left.
Until that knife comes back.
Well, he's just used it. I think that was the thing. He used it probably like 15 seconds ago, expecting them to be deep in position. So it's not going to be denied, but the fact is Benji has gone absolutely nowhere.
Take the term anchor quite seriously. Unfortunately, he sinks just like what the chances for this round to go to Heretics may slip apart as well. Who was to go down? He throws the nade though, and that gets the kill. That wins the round on time. Beautiful play. There was a second there where Boo could have been sniped from long. He stepped back, he waited, he held his breath, and delivered just in time. 7-5.
Yeah, no, a really big round to end out that half from the big brain of that Heretic side. And well, that's the thing though. I believe in just a moment we're going to be hearing from another big brain as we'll be throwing things off to Yumpy.
Let's go! Let's go!
I mean, it's last round. Suck! Up! Last.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
I think my role right now is, of course, show example to my other teammates. I'm the only one who has played in VCT before, so I need to show an example and make people comfortable around them, because I know that when you are joining first time to Tier 1, everything is new, everything is exciting, and I need to either calm them down or make them feel super comfortable when they're going to play on the stage. I think being IGL for for the rookies, as you could say. I think it's actually pretty easy for me because all of them have a big trust in me, which I appreciate, and there is no bull around between our team, so the respect between each other is very good.
Well, with a 7-5 position, Yumpy no doubt feeling confident that his team has what it takes to push this across the line. Their attack side, well, it's shaped up well. Good rounds put up on the board early on, same as what we saw up against GX. And if Heretics hadn't started to step it up towards the end, I'd believe this one was due to be closed out. But a gap of just 2 with that 3-round recovery right at the end. Heretics have set themselves up to at least still have a chance. Pistol, though, well, it could make that uphill battle just a little more steep.
For sure. And I think it came off the back of some like really big brain plays coming out of the defense, especially towards the end. Like Boo having that fragment in the very last second was massive for them. We'll see what sort of ideas he has for the setup over on the attack, because that's where I think he's going to have to play a much more pivotal role at setting up the team. It's where they clearly believe his lineups can bring value.
Already stealth drone put out, and they saw a player backing off. They heard the TP. What they don't know is that one has snuck up close. Luckily, they've spotted him, but not quite in time. Shot landed, an advantage for BBL. Heretics, though, not all eggs are in this basket. There's 2 players still on B long, but we are on board now with an art push that's coming in a little bit later, hoping to exploit a gap that BBL may have left. As we can see, they have not.
And any chance to push that position is already going to be delayed by the Razorvine. And then a smoke. That's the thing, a lot of this composition does allow for plenty of delay. One is the shield, one is the sword. That's what this comp feels like, and Sociable, no doubt, is that sword. Looking to go that little bit more aggressive, already spotting out opponents. Has to be careful of that second one, or maybe he doesn't. Rien's already gone. And with the spike only just being retrieved now, it's going to be a tough position for them to get back into, especially now that he's seen Woot.
Yeah, this is the danger, especially in pistol rounds. Sociable, he didn't get to really have any flair to it in the previous one. Here already picking up one with the Headhunter. 5 shots ready to be sent quickly towards Heretics players. Never mind, Benji has ripped his head off. The site has not been fully taken just yet, though. Still a bit of a brawl brewing, leaving Boo alone with 10 seconds. Reveal catches him, but no one is there to take the planter down. Boo gets to reset, but he's got Yumpy and Vac. They know exactly where he is.
Yeah, winning it from this position would need an isolated Jewel. Goes up to shoot the flash. That's really nice. I was looking at Yumpy being like, he is incredibly far forward. Is he going to take this fight alone? But it was literally just a bait with a flash. Like, you don't shoot it, you're blind. You do shoot it, that happens. Really nice round from them. And this is the thing. I think, as said, their defensive side, especially thinking back to the Fnatic series, were so unorthodox at times that it's really tough to play against. Even you said, oh, they've spotted a player, he has teleported away. There's a second player who hasn't teleported away, who kills you and then teleports away. It's like, there's not really enough time to think of, okay, oh, what if there's a second and you're already dead? Like, that's what this team does. It's like, you're trying to work out what they're doing in their heads and they're throat punching you.
And every time, you know, the seconds you're thinking, there could be someone there. There could be. You're also thinking, Sociable's about to peek me with a headhunter.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, your attention is divided. And that works out perfectly. Rien's, this time, Stealth Drone goes a little further. To make sure that close left corner is not occupied at the moment. It has seen Sociable, though, hiding in this corner. Even if he doesn't have this sniper in hand, he probably has that headhunter. And so either way, someone you don't want to mess with, Levin, probably goes in that same category.
Well, that's both sides of the map. Let's go mid, guys.
Art, I suppose. Although they have got Sociable.
Yeah, this is a bit of a gamble purchase. Boo, he really is the best big brother. He's dropped over the sniper, ready for Miniboo to take aim. Just looking to try and do as much damage as possible. Will now be handed into very capable hands of Boo on the other side. Profik about to come under pressure.
They have to place another star, backs out. They've occupied that now. There goes the dash. Nice kill, Profik! This is a Spectre. I don't think I could do that with a rifle. Beautiful BBL. now pushed up to 9 rounds. I mean, there were some dangers there, but they were dealt with quickly.
Well, the fun thing with that is that they now get a free outlaw as well.
Yeah, a little upgrade.
So if anything, this has now made things more dangerous. I might probably leave, Boo's just going to be the utility man for this round, not going to have the weaponry. That was the gamble that they took, kind of damaging their own round. Have to be, and actually now looking at the buys across the board, it almost seems fairly even, which is definitely a scary prospect when you are currently 9-5 down. It is their opponent's map choice. Expectations for BBL have been incredibly high, and well, as said, it's a student versus a master in terms of the server, but I do think that even though this is a pause of technical nature, there'll be time for thought for that Heretics side, as a loss in this next round could genuinely be them out of the map.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, losing this pistol as well for Team Heretics, this has put them into rough waters, to say the least. And I think you're going to need someone to hold the rudder steady as they navigate this. 4 rounds down, BBL, economic boost that they've just had as well. They've got Outlaws coming into this round, which is a danger in and of itself. Again, I can't highlight this enough, Sociable has not been there. He's not having a game right now, and it's a 9-5 lead to BBL. If this guy unplugs and plugs in his mouse again, we're in trouble. And I think this is where, for Heretics, you start to look at them and go, okay, what can you do to deal with that? And we've seen it many times before. There are players on this roster that can compete with the best duelists in the world. We need to see them activated. Miniboo, he's had a couple of rough shots so far, but I think all across the board, this Heretics doesn't feel the same. But I think that is also down to proficiency of BBL on this map. They are horrendous to play against. They're an annoying team, and this is, from what we've seen at least, certainly for me, it's my favorite map that they play.
Yeah, I think as well, like you mentioned, Sociable, he was 14-9 on the attack side when he played in that previous game.
Yeah.
He was 11-3 on the defense. So if anything, statistically, it gets worse.
Yeah,
Less kills, but he doesn't die as much. So, and that makes a lot of sense. He's going to be proactive. He's going to be consistently pushing the map and then having a get out of jail free card. So we've already witnessed it throughout. It's going to put pressure on opponents, and the thing is, they also have Levin on a Yoru who's going to be doing exactly the same thing. And I think individually, he's also looking very good. So I am worried for Heretics in this map. I think there would have to be a serious shift in the pacing of how the game is going. They need to shut down some of those aggressive plays, and wow, one's coming their way already.
Oh, well, one player further back, not caught by the suppress, ready to fire in a flash. Although, the rotation comes in. Heretics move towards this B site immediately, sensing that presence on A long, wanting nothing to do with it. Stealth drone clears the closer corners and gets them all the way down towards that site. Smoked off on the right. Levin, big play. It's a risk. Rolled the dice, and it has not worked out in their favor this time. The shot from Sociable fails to land, and despite damage done, Heretics, 5 players on that B site right now with a plant coming in.
This is a very good position to play from. You're up against a Ghost, Spectre, and 2 snipers. As long as you're not overzealous yourself, this should be a done deal.
I think Shock Dart attempt for a little extra damage. Maybe if they got lucky with that. But stepping into the smoke with 2 players, one of which is Woot awaiting you, it is not going to go well. Sociable. He was here early. He'll be the last one to leave. Idea to make it a bit more costly. Doesn't land it. Look, some shots hit, some damage done, but you can't deny that's an in-zone flawless for Team Heretics.
Yeah, big response. I think the way that BBL played that was, let's send our utility-heavy players on one side and our weaponry-heavy players on the other. The second this fight doesn't go their way, I think it's the fake smoke thrown in.
One enemy remains.
By the round time, it seemed like it was going to fall apart. It had to be utter heroics from Sociable. As mentioned, like, it really does seem like Wu he's really gunning for this one. 16-8 at the top of the board. No one else is even positive on his team at the moment. But this is where things could change. Full buy for BBL. Sociable immediately investing into that operator, and he wants to fight them so aggressively. Shot not landed, though, and that has been the story of this map for him.
Yeah, you're going to be that little bit more aggressive, obviously, on that agent, especially on your glass cannon. You really wanted that opening pick. Once that utility starts flying and bullets come your way, not going to be quite as easy to land that value. Now for BBL, still sticking with this 3-player towards A site that we've seen before. And I guess the difference here, we're not using that same lighter presence around mid that Heretics were able to do. Benji was watching Door and Art with his utility. BBL have to keep boots on the ground to keep control of that. They were doing so, but Art's now being given up. The avenue open. Heretics are feeling the space, and the A site, no doubt, the target.
Knife up. Prophet knows he needs that smoke just to try and survive in this scenario. Boo, those lineups that Woot didn't want to learn are going to be thrown in. Prophet's still the real danger here. Just sat within the smoke, timing ticking away, he makes a move. I think it's maybe the worst possible moment, but there is the shot that lands. It's been coming. Finally, Sociable's able to enter the scoreboard, and maybe at the perfect moment. Benji, though, still clinging to life. Another on the board for him. There's still a chance.
It's not over just yet, but look what Heretics have. No utility, except for that one nano swarm. If they want to fight, they're going to have to do it dry, just swinging in, and that's exactly what Boo does. A beautiful connection from Benji. And the boys of Heretics pull it across the line. Boo with the final shot, and the gap is down to 2.
He's had a resurgence. He was 0-6 at one point in this map. Now finds himself 9-10. Said it, he won them a couple of rounds towards the end of the last, and even with a collateral shot from Sociable and a mass advantage, this is just where they stepped up. And the thing is, he learned from the previous mistake. That's the thing. I feel like Boo is like a supercomputer. Like, he, as a person, like, you can fool him once in a battle, and then the second you've done it, it's like calculated, stored. And so he sees that flash go put in, he goes, okay, if I shoot this, I'm getting swung, so I'm not going to shoot it, I'm going to dodge it and just wait for someone to peek. And that's exactly what happened.
He's a smart man. And now,
he might be the smartest, genuinely. Of all the people I've met in Valorant, talking to Boo makes me feel like the dumbest human being. And he's not doing anything particular, it's just sort of the look he gives you when you're talking to him, you go, damn, I'm wasting his time.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
He's so nice when he does it as well.
Yeah, I do get that though. I think you're very right with he's like a supercomputer. The man does just, he's very calculating the way he even thinks about the game, he talks about it. Well, there's certainly a bit more data to collect, but for now, 2 rounds in between them, it's looking like a much better game than it could have been. Like I said, 7-2. BBL were in the lead at one point. Sociable wasn't online either. We just saw a big round, a big double kill from him, collab. But outside of that, you know, the things that were working for BBL before are not working in the same way. But they've shown us another face to their Pearl. Heretics, though, starting to find their footing. Getting back into the game, putting rounds up. This attack side, they're setting the pace. And, well, that is exactly what they're doing. Barriers go up, pistols in the hands of BBL, and a spread out look to this attack side from Heretics. They are holding their bases, waiting for aggression, and BBL are keen to give it to them.
Benji, the player under a little bit of pressure here. Yumpy's going to be the one to take the fight. It seems like he's ready for it, but yeah, definitely a little bit messy in the way that that one went. Luckily for Heretics, no weapon to be retrieved, but you talk about that combination in the first half of Dimensional Drift, Hunter's Fury, that is available once again. So although the guns haven't been picked up, just thinning the herd a little bit could mean in the later rounds that those ults become even more valuable.
4 players towards A site. Pressure now on Prophet. He's only got a classic. He wants to get out of here alive once he spots that that's where the play is coming in. But even just look at what this man's role currently is. He's bouncing back and forth between B long and the double doors. And there it is.
His util's all on A, by the way. He's just placed his first star.
Oh, and he sticks around. Now, I mean, we've seen a couple rounds here where Prophet, he's in the right position. He leaves the smoke right as they step into it. This time, he goes back in. Miniboo lands the shot first, a weaponry diff. The Hunter's Fury seeking out its targets, and damage done, but no real conversion for the kills just yet.
Yeah, this now should become impossible. That was the thing, it needed to sort of thread the needle. Woot's lurk is expected, but not dealt with. Back now left. 1 versus 4, and although a couple of players are tagged at least a little bit. I don't know how much more realistically this man can do. The other danger as well is you're looking at Minibu and Rien's 2 orbs away from their ultimates. Don't really want to give those kills over. Gives it to Boo, not the end of the world. He's only got a couple, but it is now starting to really see the caliber of that Heretics side. I said it. After they had that horrible first map in their game last week, you could see the fact that it didn't phase them. They weren't that same young team that, oh, my mental's gone, like Minibu talking about, like, oh, I hate the way I'm playing, all this stuff. Yeah. It was like, okay, map 2, let's go. This time it didn't even take to another map. 2 pauses, they spoke it through with the coaches. I think everybody rates the coaching staff at Heretics highly at this point, and we're already seeing that resurgence.
Yeah, it has been a well-handled comeback so far in a map the BBL seemed set to win. They were dominant, they were looking confident, and everything was working. Big players weren't even online, but the game plan was too strong to fail. Now, though, they are just 1 round in the lead. All that hard work has been chipped away by Team Heretics. Oh, it's a big play from Levin. In there for 2. Doesn't quite get out, but and I mean, they do lose Profek as well. We've ended up in a bit more of a neck-and-neck situation than I think BBL would like. Big mid control at least from them. Good passive B control as well. But the real danger is if they just commit to this A-site hit on Heretics, they're going to have one person standing in their way, the leader of BBL, and then it will be a difficult retake for the remaining players to actually make happen.
Peeked behind, something we maybe didn't see.
Obscuring bit concealment.
Here they go into the site. Yumpy knows that giving this up for the afterplan is going to be rough. A fragment from Boo as well. It left him a tiny gap. Oh, there was a moment where Boo could have died there. They weren't expecting the re-peek through. Instead, a post-plant. Advantage in terms of HP, but that doesn't last for long. Vax done well.
And take a look at Art as well. Sociable on the way around. He's got a free kill. They thought we killed Profek. No one's going to come behind us in Art this time, guys, right? But, well, you're wrong. And wrong again. Nice shots by Sociable. BBL back on the board with this defuse. The gap is up to 2. They're getting ever closer to closing this map out.
Again, it was this disruptive aggression that caused them these initial problems. Trading evenly. And this was the kill. It was just that slight gap that it also seemed like Boo again was aware of, playing around. But Vac winning that fight turned the round on its head, gave space as well for that lurk to come in. Still, the difference is just 2, and the attacks still have finances, along with a couple of high-impact ultimates, and Bladestorm just 1 away. The fight isn't done just yet, but Sociable, gloves are off.
You see Yoru take this, he can get out of there, but with Sociable, he can only back off to this corner. That's why he needs Yumpy. The second player pushing up with him makes the difference. What a frustrating start to a round. Heretics coming in, no doubt, saying, all right, this is where we get back in. We bounce back, deliver the damage, the beat down onto BBL, but instead, it's BBL biting back. Sure, they lose Profek, but Levin's right in there for the trade. And Boo, with the spike in hand, has a 1v3 to make happen. No idea where his opponents will be by the time he steps into a site. And the weapon in his hands, Tom, it's valuable, but they have enough credits that I don't think it's likely he goes for a save this late into the game. Who knows, though?
I'm almost certain if they could make an agent change midway through, we would see something like a Sova or a Sky or a Fade, just something that can clear these early angles. It's been such an irritation for them. The last round, players pushing through a smoke. This round, just walking up and then having a second layer to that aggression. Again, at times it could be their undoing, but you're just not expecting that second player to be there. And while Boo's even going to take a fairly hefty amount of damage on his way in, such a passive hold from the defense as well. They are making sure this round is locked. They're going in with that dimensional drift, using that ultimate just to try and play with their opponent. There is nowhere safe for Boo to hide in at this stage. Well, he won't even get that first fight. 11 now for BBL.
Yeah, and this is the problem. We've mentioned this earlier on about how irritating of a team it is, BBL are to play against. You get to 10-8, you have your ideas, you have your plans, and this is what you face off against. Sociable on the peak is one thing. Yumpy hitting that double is another entirely. Even took down the drone as well. from that point, I mean, it is barriers up. Oh, you lost the round that quickly.
The thing as well is normally that space is fairly free.
It's given up.
And more so, what they did was, because there was a player deeper before, they send the drone out, so you can't retreat, or you retreat before taking the shot. Yeah. That's the only option you have. Because of what that drone does, it takes away your ability to use abilities. Heretics had a good idea.
Locating targets.
And they're gonna do it again. Gonna try and clear this man out of position. Oh, Levin can't lead. Bear that in mind. He is stuck here. Yeah. That's why Sociable normally TPs immediately when he sees that drone.
And also, even Sociable, he's off TP into that location because just the range of the TP. Levin can get out with a gate crash, but a little bit of planning might have helped out there. It's a stumble. Let's see if it's a fall for BBL, as they've got players here early, but that ult has sent them running. Time to concede as the plant comes in for Team Heretics.
Still taking them some time. They got stuck behind the wall. That was it.
Oh!
The wall went up, the shear, and it trapped the spike. I think it was when Miniboo dived through it, so they've been allowed at least a little bit of extra time. The problem is, again, like, Boo's now going to commit his own ultimate.
Spike planted.
No utility to try and get back into this site. A fight for profit is available. That's one, at least in the spam. Not on the right angle to deny it. Again, don't give this man too much of an angle. We know what he can do with it. The problem is this crossfire. He needs to isolate immediately, and he's not even going to get past Benji.
I do get very nervous when I see Prophet get a kill and there's 3 players left alive. You didn't think you've seen that one before. Oh, 2 rounds in between them. Benji go kill. Well, he's been doing all right last couple rounds. We'll see if he keeps firing up. With 2 rounds in between them, they need everybody online if you're a Heretics fan to close in this gap. Operator for Sociable, and I am sat back waiting to see if there's going to be another adaptation from BBL, another bit of aggression. It doesn't look like it in the early sort of setup that we see with barriers and whatnot. And the same sort of, this is the wall that we saw last round, right? They've been putting it down on B quite regularly. That was what slowed down the spike, what stopped them from planting what bought, and just a little bit of extra time ultimately wasn't capitalized on. Oh, that's through the door!
Evan down early. Yummy's got to be careful. He's still in his drone, but eventually will be out of it. The problem is they're already looking out of this round. He needs another big individual play if it's going to turn, and he does well. Another double. Sociable could! Oh, he could have evened it up. Instead, though, well, Benji is going, and he is killing. Another round on the board. Heretics, the climb never stops. They are now 1 behind once again.
Must have looked up and saw that sign. For BBL, yeah, 1 round ahead. This is the kind of time where you think maybe you want to slow things down, take a breather. I've seen our timer in-game freeze. I think that's what they've done. I think BBL is
I was about to say in-game, that doesn't work with their comp. Let's slow things down with a Yoru chamber comp.
Let's just play passive. Yeah, no, hopefully not on the server when the barriers are up, but let's take a breather before those barriers go up. BBL call a timeout, and it is definitely time. Heretics have been catching up. Heretics burned their timeouts very early on, but that got them back into the game. That made the course correction possible. Now, BBL look to do the exact same thing. This is their last pause, the last chance for either team in regulation to touch base with the coaching staff. Only a couple of rounds left before we either go to OT or we go to Lotus. And the question is, after a 7-2 start and some really impressive rounds, will BBL be able to keep up this theme of upsetting the better team, the underdog coming out on top, at least here on Pearl? Or will we be going to Lotus with the usual suspects 1-0 in the lead?
That's the thing as well. You have to look back to Lotus as a map that was played all through Champions for the side of Heretics, even making an appearance in the final. They didn't win it, but they showed that they were definitely comfortable versus the best in the world. Here on Pearl, obviously, it's a little bit different. A map coming back into the pool. And one that a lot of teams have had to adapt on. The defense for this one, not a lot in terms of weaponry, but a lot in terms of their ults.
All right.
May not matter, though. That drone already spawning, Whoop with the spam. Don't have a massive reason to go back and fight this, but they are planning on doing so.
And it is just a bit of, I suppose, a greed setup that they got punished on before, where you saw that drone used from, I'll use this one here, from this position. And this time they're a little bit more passive where they put that out from. And, it's a little bit of conditioning. It wouldn't get all the way down to the site where the other one would. Wouldn't get the same kind of information, but it does its job. It spots that early B long push, sends BBL backwards. And in other rounds, if it was the operator and Yumpy up close, sure, they can reset. They can still have a pretty good chance, and you've at least gotten rid of the drone. But in this round where you've got pistols, that early surprise play is really where you get all your value. And now as the round goes on, Tom, I'm trying to get all 4 of them. Almost. Could have been a little better, but there were 4 of them in the circle. It was pretty good. It was
3.5.
I got them while they're moving.
Oh, here we go, though. They are rotating
on their way.
all the way back. That's the thing. The information that is currently there, not seeing anything. They are now going to have a stack, and there really isn't enough time to go back in the other direction. So Heretics are going to walk in to all 4 players. Bear in mind as well, they could take away their guns.
They don't know they're here just yet. Now the information falling into your hands, although suppression for a lot. Yumpy, round there for 1. Profex in as well. The damage was good to start with, but the weaponry difference really shone through in the end. We are now 11-11, neck and neck. The big thing here is, Tom, Heretics have been winning a lot of these attack rounds. They've been doing well with the rifles in hand, and there's going to be nothing but rifles from here on out. Ults are going to start to come online for Heretics as well. You have to look to BBL and say, after that big lead, after building your castles and then realizing the foundation is sand, will they be able to make that recovery? Will they keep themselves in it?
This could be a pace change. Heretics have been taking their time, a lot of the times sending it over onto that B site with early drone control. Instead, they are taking space, using that guided salvo immediately just to remove any of the aggression from this spot in the round. The question is, though, do BBL continue to do what they've done before and try and re-aggress? This time, it looks like they've thought better of it.
Drone through Art, BBL, look for mid control. But elsewhere, Sociable wants to get a bit of extra info. If he rounded that corner, he was dead. There were 2 players, 3 in fact, if you include Miniboo, holding it. Now back to just a crossfire. Just 2 guns and the spike sitting there for Sociable. Claiming this pick would be huge. And he can immediately TP out as well. The reveal goes deep. There's the shot. Immediately gets out. Doesn't overstay his welcome. It's good. No punish from Miniboo until now.
Yeah. That's not ideal. Re-aggression as well, catches Levin. Yumpy torn between 2 angles of which teammate to help, and ended up not really being able to support either of them. And you can see the attacker being so dynamic in their response. An immediate change back over towards the other side. I like this though. Use of the Steel Garden to take away their guns. There's only 20 seconds left. If they wait this out, they could be in trouble.
They know they have to go, but now reinforcements are here! Mini deals with them in an instant, and Profect falls right after. This team has been trailing since round 5. They have not seen victory to put them ahead of BBL now, right at the last second. We could see a 13-11 on the board. We talked a big game about BBL's Pearl, but this would cripple your mental game to lose like this.
And in zone flawless as well. They took the weaponry away, and that was what they were waiting for. They were waiting for Miniboo to come back in, the one guy with a rifle, and well, he's been having a decent resurgence again. The same for Boo. It seems like down and not out is the way that Heretics are looking at the beginning of Kickoff. Can BBL find that last little lease of life? Already, a lot of those aggressive early positions on B are dismantled. The aggression instead from Levin is over on that A site. And also a little bit from Sociable in mid. There is nobody to fight. 4 players now making their way down B long.
Definitely feels like BBL in this defense. It's been an impossible task fighting the tide of Team Heretics. There is no stopping it. Hunter's Fury won't find anything. Heretics just waited, and now they step in to claim the space that is essentially being given to them. Plant secured. Sure, the wall goes up, but to what end? It buys them some time, but unless they're going to start this defuse right here and now, it won't have that much impact. Boo around the side, it's huge! That's a triple from Boo! Back alone! to make this work, to keep them in it. He's got 2 opponents and they're hiding away. They're not giving him any opportunities. It's Team Heretics claiming this map 13-11. As BBL gets swept away by the comeback.
Yeah. It's never easy to take down Heretics. It's never easy to stop the 2024 team of EMEA. And while BBL have learned that the hard way in map number 1, still a chance for the comeback. We'll be back after the break.
Yeah. Tommy, are you stupid? Yeah. Yeah.
Red Bull gives you wings.